I used to stay overnight too because I got a kick out of climbing up into that bed. She should have had a stepladder.
Do you sleep under and over a feather bed?
The feather bed was over the straw tick.
Right, but you put yourself on top of the feather bed. I see.
And it was high up, you know.
I see. It comes up around you, and that's how it keeps you warm. And you put something else on top.
Oh well, she had nice sheets. Now I don't think that she must have bought those. I never saw her weaving them, but the blankets she always wore. And of course they had to be have some designs on the blankets because and it had to be in red.
Why in red?
Well, she was French, you know. They say the French people like red.
And did she speak English with a big accent, or?
Did she speak English at all?
Yes, she did speak English. And her sister, I told you, you know, after she got married to another Willard, which was just a cousin of my grandfather's, and she went to school. She was a different type than my grandmother. My grandmother was just a good, solid person. And Aunt Louise was different. She always had to be so prim and proper and brought her family up the same way in a different environment than my grandmother did. But I was more comfortable with Graham.
And did the English side of the family look down on Mary Martell?
Oh, no, I don't think. Well, to tell you the truth, they were not. Now, my uncle, Smedley, they had just one girl. But his wife didn't like Grandma. Because after my grandfather died, my Uncle Smed and his wife, Aunt Mabel, moved in with grandmother, but they didn't get along. So they moved out. She didn't get along, the two women.
But that wasn't for any reasons of being French or not. That happened.
Oh, no, that had nothing to do with it.
Normal enough.
The children were not brought up Catholics, you know.
Well, you don't have to be Catholic you do not have to be Catholic to be respectable, do you?
Oh, dear, no. No, they're just as nice people as anyone.
You don't have to be any religion to be not right.
It wouldn't be hard for me to be a Catholic.
It wouldn't be hard for me to be anything, so long as it wasn't too warlike. But it would be kind of hard for me to be a dinosaur, don't you think so?
I think that would be a little difficult. But we never thought of war in those days. Only is so far off, which would be in Russia or someplace like that we would read about in the newspaper. But war, we didn't think of war as the way we do now.
Did people listen to radios when you were a girl?
We didn't have them.
Before the radio was invented, there were no televisions. That's
right.
much fancier than
No.
radio.
Right.
One thing we did have was gramophones with records and great big horns to them.
Oh, that
Yes,
kind.
yeah,
That's the old-fashioned kind now.
indeed it is.
The oldest old-fashioned.
I remember one of the pieces my grandfather used to play. A little bit of it. It was a wooden wedding anniversary. It said the first was to come Patty Uncle. No, it was Uncle Dan. He brought for a present a Japanese fan. The next was I guess I've forgotten.
I thought it's the cup.
It's awful to get old and think about the past all the time. I don't think about the past all the time. I've just been doing it lately.
Why is that awful, especially if you have such a nice past to think about?
Yeah, I had a happy past. I think we all did. Maybe not the younger ones so much. Because, well, it was a different environment, you know, when
How did it
it
change?
came to Lillian and Cora. Yes, it was different.
How?
More modern.
What difference did it make to them?
I don't know if it made any difference to them, but to me, I mean. Mm-hmm.
Is it hard being a big sister?
I don't think so.
Was it?
Well, you were third, right?
Well, there was one that died, you know, as a baby. Gertrude.
But of
Hmm?
Of the survivors.
the survivors, it was
All the rest survived.
Abby and
Ethel and Abby,
Ethel were-
and then me.
Any other stories?
Oh, I can't think of any now, dear.
Oh.
I've used up my energy with those.
You never told any stories about being a schoolgirl.
I?
Yeah. Did you go, was there a one-room schoolhouse with all
At
classes?
first. But when we moved from the farm, we went to public school. But when we lived on the farm, we had a log schoolhouse and one teacher.
But where was the farm?
Well, it was about between East Angus and Ascot Corner, about halfway. The house is still there, but it's changed. It's been all made over, you know. But it's still there. And my grandfather's house is, last time I was up to Canada, was in very good condition.
Mary Martel.
I wonder if the
Where's-
upper floor smells of cheese.
And where is that?
Well, that was closer to Angus.
On the same road?
Yes, on the same road. About 2 miles up towards East Angus. What did you say? You could smell the cheese?
I wonder if you could smell the cheese upstairs in the house because it's still there.
No. My Aunt Mabel put a stop to that business. You
Why?
know.
Was this the...
Oh, well, she just didn't, she wasn't crazy about Grandma. She made it very difficult for my grandmother. Well, you know how it is sometimes when you move in.
What was his first name?
Tyler. It's the same as your John. John Tyler. But he always went by the name of Tyler. Perhaps I imagined some of this, but I don't think so.